Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Before I jump on into today's review, I do want to mention if you enjoy the Gaming Gang and would like to support the outlet, you can do so in a few ways. First, by utilizing our affiliate link to the One Bookshelf sites, such as DriveThruRPG and Dungeon Masters Guild. And to do so, all you need to do is swing on over to thegaminggang.com and click on one of our banners. You can also make a one-time donation by way of PayPal or become a monthly member of our Patreon. You'll find links in the show notes. Also, down in those show notes, you're going to find an invite link to our Discord server, absolutely free to join us. So be sure to hang with the gang over on Discord. As Small Publisher September continues, today I am going to share my review of the West Marches Campaign Playstyle Guidebook from Karl Otto Kristoffersen. This 44-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $4.99. Do want to mention the softcover zine you're going to take a peek at in just a moment is not available as print on demand as I record this. It is normally $12.99. I do believe the file is undergoing some changes. That's why the POD is offline. Having said all that, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got the West Marches Campaign Playstyle Guidebook. A couple of things to mention before we get stuck in. First of all, Karl Otto Kristoffersen was kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this review with you. It's important you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of the zine, but I do want to give you a good feel for what you're going to find inside. First thing we'll do is take a peek at the credits page. Not a whole lot here, but we are still taking a peek and giving credit where credit is due. If you are not familiar with a West Marches campaign, these dates all the way back to the first days of role-playing games. Original Dungeons and Dragons, Basic Expert, AD&D. Now, as far as a West Marches campaign, they are very well tailored for fantasy role-playing games, science fiction role-playing games, not necessarily modern era, although I think I could see someone pulling up a Wild West or even a Weird West sort of campaign. And the reason behind this is that the players drive the action. The players are going to be the impetus to what goes on in this game world. It's all up to them. What do they want to explore? Where do they want to go? How do they want to take on the various different challenges and situations that they find themselves in? West Marches campaigns also tend to be relatively low prep for the game master or dungeon master. I know that there's an origin story here that claims that creator Ben Robbins is the inventor of the West Marches campaign playstyle. I know a lot of old school grown-yards out there are going to take umbrage to that. In fact, I've already seen some comments on the first look video that I did, as well as some emails that I've received where people are kind of curious, why is this suddenly a thing? Why is a West Marches campaign a thing now? Obviously, it's because Critical Role's next campaign is going to take on aspects of a West Marches campaign. But a lot of these folks are saying, hey, you know what? This is just original D&D. This is how Dungeon Masters had to run D&D. And I can certainly see that. I date all the way back to those days. Although, I got to be honest, I never played in a group that had enough people for a West Marches campaign. Maybe when I was in high school and I belonged to the Gamers Guild, but outside of that, really not. Because one of the things that you are going to need for an effective West Marches campaign is a lot of players. So this is designed for approximately 8 to 20 players and multiple game masters. This probably won't work if it's just a single game master and 4 players, because there is a lot going on, which really, if not requires, at least leans heavily into having a lot of players. So there are some key tenets to a West Marches campaign as well. Players drive the action. The hometown is safe. Every game session begins and ends in a town. Those towns are also not going to be big sources of intrigue or plot lines, although they are a good place to pick up rumors about the game world. As I mentioned, West Marches campaigns tend to be relatively low prep for the game master because they basically wait for the players to let them know what they want to do next. So most West Marches campaigns, at the end of a session, which would be in a town, the game master is going to kind of recap things. They're going to also ask the players, well, where do they want to go next? What are they looking to explore next? Because then the game master can create some different situations, maybe throw together a location for the players to explore, because exploration is really the key to a West Marches campaign. There are no detailed plot lines. There are no storylines. Everything develops as the campaign emerges. West Marches campaigns are also great settings for multiple GMs and multiple adventuring groups. Each adventuring group, it is recommended that they take notes and they fill out an after-action report, essentially a session report with what they've learned about the world, what happened in that game session, and then the game masters can utilize that to continue fleshing out the world itself. I will mention a lot of this information that's in the Playstyle Guidebook is available online in far more detail than what you're going to find here in the West Marches Campaign Playstyle Guidebook, which just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? As far as the production quality here, it's pretty standard print on demand from DriveThruRPG. Solid paper stock. This will hold up relatively well. I will mention that it clocks in at 44 pages, but as you can see, there is loads and loads of white space here. I got to be honest, this could really easily have squeezed into maybe 25 pages here. There is a lot of redundancy also in this book. It is explained multiple times about the session report, and players should be writing down what's going on. I do like the information that's presented in here, and it is really aimed at newcomers to not only a West Marches campaign, but also probably to role-playing games in general. Something else that's important to keep in mind is not only is a West Marches campaign maybe not applicable to a lot of folks out there because they simply don't have enough players around their game table, but this style of campaign isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea either. I have heard from some people who have experienced a West Marches campaign. They were filled with new players to role-playing games who just didn't understand the concept, because a lot of modern players nowadays, they wait for the game master to tell them what's going on and to be the spur to their action, as opposed to the players driving the action. A lot of players nowadays, they just sit back, listen to the game master, and then wait to react to what the game master presents. And that is not going to work very well in a West Marches campaign. So that is a peek inside the book. Let's swing on over to the other camera so I can share some final thoughts as well as my review score. As I mentioned, this is an enjoyable, quick read. I rocked through this in about an hour, and there were a lot of cool ideas in here for those who are considering putting together a West Marches campaign, or maybe they're curious, what the hell is a West Marches campaign, because they've already heard that Critical Role is going to adopt this style of play for its next campaign. As I mentioned, a lot of this information is available online, absolutely free. A lot of the websites that I went into quite a bit of detail about each of the key tenets. So this is a nice starting point for someone who's interested in learning more about a West Marches campaign. Once again, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And to really pull off an effective West Marches campaign, you really do need to have quite a lot of players and multiple game masters, or at least rotating game masters within the same group. But still, I do recommend this. I enjoyed reading through it. I think it's kind of padded out a little bit, a lot of white space as well, but production quality is pretty solid on this also. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I give the West Marches Campaign Playstyle Guidebook a 6 out of 10. All right, that is it for this time out. If you liked the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this review, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.